Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while wrong is going on. Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war cry. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and cry. And do up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, Jah Rastafari, and we love Jah, Jah Rastafari, save all people. And we love Jah, we love Jah, Jah Rastafari, we love Jah, Jah Rastafari, preserve all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah, Jah Rastafari, me love Jah, Jah Rastafari, me love Jah, Jah Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jah, Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight, and then DJ Twink.
Democracy, 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 they say. But I would more call it Rubio-ocracy, Rubio-ocracy, Rubio-ocracy. Good morning and welcome to Prostitutes of the Caribbean. This morning we'll be featuring Pimpinella and Prostituta and their democratic or Rubiocratic attack on Cuba at their CARICOM meeting. And one might ask the question, what democracy? In relation to Jamaica in particular, what happens to the zone of peace and the non-intervention is? Global listener morning and welcome. We're out here this morning for Pimpinella and Prostituta. And just them will come out this morning. Because Pimpinella, on a call Flight Green there. Flight Green and the drug dealers of St. Elizabeth, the high class drug dealers of St. Elizabeth are not international drug dealers. So no come here now. Morning everyone. Lord, it's summertime way. The February summertime way, not full already, you know. Anyway. To my community party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning and welcome. Miss Drum Uptown, good morning. Debbie Jervis, TV, good morning. Laverne, good morning, good morning. Errol Reed, Lynette Jenkins, Colleen, Abinasa Cody, good morning. Elijah B, good morning. The Easy Jerk World, good morning. Violet Watson. And to those in the silent listening, good morning, good morning. Wanna call Prostitute and Pimpinella for winner, please? Evan Miller, how you do? Call Pimpinella and Prostituta because I just them will come out this morning. Wanna hear them out of flapper CARICOM? When I hear the flapping of their mouth at CARICOM, what irritates me though, Florida was colder than London. Very. Me don't know what Prince Charles do, you know. Prince Charles turn up the weather for this track if we not talk about the disgrace where unfold in our kingdom. But Prince Charles, that not up with fan talk. So if this you come with the weather for this track with a wagwan in a Britain in a February is not normal go along in t-shirt and shorts weather. I mean, understand something, you know, Charles. That me I tell you. Pimpinella and Prostituta, they fawn and fawn over Marco Rubio. Was your speech written by you, Pimpinella and Prostituta, or was your speech written by the American Foreign Office? Democracy, democracy, democracy. I won't spend a lot of time on Trinidad when it comes to democracy because I don't really jump into them and know how for them democratic system work under their republicanism, brouhahaism, or whatever it is. But our, hmm, our what city you call it, spoke of democracy, free and fair election. Can you imagine? Free and fair election. He used the word. They used the word. Democratically elected. They say so. Oh, yeah. Do they really believe themselves? In particular to Pimpinella, who's Pimpinella and his wife control 1/3 of governance in Jamaica, if you want to call it like that. They control 2 arms of the government in Jamaica. And Pimpinella have the nerve. They talk about democracy in relation to Cuba. So democracy I want in America, you know. Andrew? Pimpinella. Let's go to Prostituta first. Let's go to Prostituta, and then we'll come back round to Pimpinella. These people are disgraceful. Disgraceful. The way they're on their knee to a pedophile president of the United States. It is unbelievable. This is not when America had presidents, you know. It's not that. America has a mad pedophile. And this is what they're all on their knees to. A crazy, mad so-and-so. And they use the word ocracy. Ocracy. But we see this, what we hear from CARICOM, this is what we can call the Rubio-ocracy. Because you're all not speaking about democracy. You're advancing Rubio-ocracy. It begs me to ask, who wrote the speech, or no speech them? Well, we all know the American Foreign Office. Why you think we couldn't keep Rubio out of the meeting? Rubio said, me come, I couldn't tear in my eye and tell Cuba said they need to have free and fair election. What is free and fair election? The questions asked. What on earth? Want to call free and fair election? Do you remember Gillette Holness the other day with her police and barriers and multiple visits to Kintyre? Do you remember the Prime Minister behavior? Do you remember J.C. Hutchison's behavior? I mean, what do you call free and fair election? When people are being selected and enforced upon us. Like Tufton, who crisscross and hop to get a seat and a position in government wherever possible. Democracy. Or Rubio-ocracy you're all talking about. Because democracy is the piper on the tune, you see. The democracy of today in America that is being pushed is not the democracy that America really is used to. Have you heard the big man baby lashing out on the Supreme Court and berating the 6 judges who went against him and his unlawful tariff? that over $1 billion or $1 trillion would then dig out on a pocket, we're then going to have to refund to the manufacturers, but you who picked up the bill, the American consumer, will not get a dime back in refund? Let's listen to Prostitute.
So how can it be when that regime was threatening violence to 2 CARICOM member states, there was no voice from the CARICOM? We were talking about a zone of peace. And in my respectful view, my country is not a zone of peace, and I'll tell you why. Because of the unreliability of the CARICOM in the above situation, TNT Guyana, we cannot bind ourselves to the same political ideologies, the same foreign issues, and the same security policies of the entire CARICOM. That's why I welcome Prime Minister Holness's words, that we have each our own pathway to walk, depending on what is happening in our country. And so, my friends, I say, going forward, we will work with the CARICOM. We were invested in the CARICOM. We've been there from day one, and we want to be there after the end and the beginning and in the end. We want to be there with the CARICOM. It's very vital. I'm a CARICOM child, you know. I lived in Jamaica as your Prime Minister. I studied in Jamaica 14 years. I studied there. I lectured at university in Jamaica. I lived in Barbados. My child was born in Barbados. My son is Bayesian. Recently, he was trying to apply to UE to get into UA law school. And when he took his Bayesian passport, they said, no. You have to come and bring a TT ID card. Sounds like a joking matter, but a serious matter. May you know that. My son is born in Barbados, and of course Trinidad. So I've had that experience of living and working, Jamaica, Barbados, and of course my own country, Trinidad and Tobago. So we will want to have our own foreign issues, policies, defend our sovereignty as we see best. And so I come to the elephant that might be in the room. I come to the USA and the cooperation that we had with the USA. Thanks to President Trump, thanks to Secretary Rubio and the US military. I say thank you today for standing firm against narco trafficking, human and arms smuggling originated from Venezuela. That is what we were facing in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe some of you other islands in the Caribbean, your nations do not have that level of illegal.
A new social housing law means emergency
housing and of course the crime. And then there's the global focus on Cuba, right here at our CARICOM. And let me remind me and us, every single leader in this room was elected by a free and fair democratic election. Everyone in our countries. And so I ask, why do some CARICOM governments and political parties believe that they and their parties and their supporters should have the right to contest democratic elections to choose them as leaders, where the Cuban citizens have no right to free and fair election? And whilst I talk with you, Prime Minister Holness, I empathize with the people, the good people of Cuba, but there's a regime that's a dictatorial one, and none of us want that in our country, not one of us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. We were all elected by free and fair elections. And so we cannot advocate for others to live under communism and dictatorship, but we want to live here in our CARICOM region under democracy and capitalism. That's an oxymoron, it's a contradiction. For ourselves, we want free democracy, but tell the Cuban people, okay, we feel sorry for you. It can't work. And as you said, Prime Minister Holness, we have to find a mechanism for the humanitarian efforts of the people of Cuba, but at the same time, we cannot, and I will not, Trinidad and Tobago will not support a dictatorship in Cuba or anywhere else. We will not.
But, right, it's hard to even follow what she's saying, but she says many things. Zone of peace, sovereignty, democracy, dictatorship, sovereignty. Sovereignty. I mean, Trinidad just have a Trinidad is unable to refine them oil anymore. Them have to send it to Jamaica now to refine. Sovereignty. Democracy and sovereignty. I mean, Trump and Rubio just walk in and I tell you whole on what they do and I tell you whole on what they say. How them think they work? How them something they cut out and fit together? Free and fair election. Free and fair election. We would even go into the Trinidad free and fair election. Because I don't understand it, so I don't go talk about it. But democracy, dictatorship. What have you all benefited from democracy, prostitute? Because you can't control crime in our country. Jamaica and Trinidad. You can't control crime. You can't educate on the people them enough. You can't develop, you can't improve or expand on the faculties. The little stagnant, the few stagnant faculty where the white man left with after so-called independence, are them same one you struggle with? Cuba, though, on the other hand, have faculties where you don't have. So under embargo and dictatorship, the Cubans become more educated and more skilled than so-called free world democracy, capitalism and bullshit. Because them two junk the prostitute, and we soon hear from Pimpinella. These are Marco Rubio's sword against Cuba. Zone of peace. The zone of peace, and you still calling Donald Trump for kill off on your own fishermen them. And you're still talking about the zone of peace. You understand where our country them is at? Do you understand? Say if America tell we if we jump off of the cliff tomorrow, we have to jump. Is that what we fought slavery, colonization for? To jump off the cliff with the colonizer? Or am I crazy? Or am I crazy? What on earth is prostitute talking about? Let's go over to Pimpinella now. These are Marco Rubio's sword against Cuba. So on a run come a CARICOM with a Marco Rubio on a U.S. Foreign Department written speech I come talk about democracy. Democracy. Or is it a Rubio-ocracy? Is it democracy or is it Rubio-ocracy?
The situation in Cuba with clarity and courage. Cuba is our Caribbean neighbor. Its doctors and teachers have served across our region. Its people are part of our shared history. But today, the Cuban people face severe economic hardship, energy shortages, and growing humanitarian strain. Jamaica is sensitive to the struggles of the Cuban people. Humanitarian suffering serves no one. Apart from our fraternal care and solidarity with the Cuban people, it must be clear that a prolonged crisis in Cuba will not remain confined to Cuba. It will affect migration, security, and economic stability across the Caribbean basin. It is therefore important that we carefully consider this matter and take collective action.
When you make a
Let there be no doubt, Jamaica stands firmly for democracy, human rights, political accountability, and open market-based economies. We do not believe that long-term stability can exist where economic freedom is constrained and political participation is limited. Sustainable prosperity requires openness to ideas, to enterprise, to investment, and to the will of the people. This moment, therefore, calls not for rhetoric, but for responsible statecraft, even as we encourage support for humanitarian relief. Jamaica supports constructive dialogue between Cuba and the United States aimed at de-escalation, reform, and stability.
Oh dear. You heard him, don't you? This piece of dried shit on the pavement. Democracy, rule of law, transparency. He said it. You know, this piece of thing here. I mean, when our countries should be standing up, they're on their knees to pedophiles. Do you understand it? I don't. But where is the democracy in Jamaica? Where is the free and fair election? Government attack media. Government attack criticism. Government attack anti-corruption body. Government attack those who doesn't fall in line with the Jamaican government. Where is the democracy? We've just witnessed the Prime Minister and his wife stole election the other day. Where is the free and fair election, John Crow? Common piece of filth. Where was the free and fair election on the 3rd of September? John Crow, you're still in front of the court in a dog shit. Maybe you forget. You might have forgotten, Andrew Holness, Pimpinella, that you, when you enter 20 odd years ago, you end up in a court for election fraud. 20 odd years on, you're back in court for election irregularity. What you talking about? Patricia, how you do long time? What you talking about? 20 odd years ago, you were in front of the court for election fraud. 20 odd years on, you're back in front of the court for election fraud. What are you talking? Where is the free and fair election? Did you see Juliet's Holness behavior on the 3rd of September? Did you see how you order polling station to close before time? Did you see the chaos want to create for people don't get to vote? Did you see Juliet Holness labor right them create a special line for themselves and Juliet people them only allowed Juliet liberate people them? Where was that free and fair election? You mean the election that you bought and stole Andrew Holness? Is he serious? I mean, he is, because they usually speak these bullshit and think that pulling a wool over or eye will suffice. Not round here, may I add. What is he talking about? Does he remember the amount? Flight Green, tell him now. Flight Green, Tell him boy and Dr. Bamadili, after Miranda Wellington, big meeting down at Brompton this Sunday before the election, and when Floyd Green say Floyd Green lose a Sunday night there. Tell him about the vote buying way and Dr. Bamadili, Uncle Beres, and everybody went out pan no, sir. Please. Fair, free and fair election. But you mean stole, bought and sold? Hmm? Stole, bought and sold, Prime Minister? Free and fair. Stole, bought and sold. Don't even talk about how your family hijack governance in our country. We can't get question asked in our parliament. We're being told to sit down. We're being treated like children. We are being just like nothing. Free and fair, democracy, rule of law, transparency, a government under a wash of corruption, contract violation, procurement scam. Like, seriously? A prime minister who cannot even have his statutory declaration certified and all that bullshit. Hmm? And all that, bear with me, the globalists, and all that, hold on there. You know, me live, me will call you back when me done. Yeah, he says so, they say so. Now a prime minister, we found 2018. A prime minister was from 2017. Corruption just a drain out in government like Civ so. A prime minister with him and him people them in a war with the Integrity Commission. A prime minister who has been investigated for financial misconduct, tax evasion, transparency, accountability. Are you serious? You piece of filth. I don't have the nerve for the American Foreign Office write an attack going off when come attack Cuba. I don't come attack Cuba about democracy, and the people of Cuba must be able to participate in election. If it is that the Cubans are going to participate foolishly and fuckery like Jamaicans and sell their vote, no. We don't need more of that fuckery. We need less of it. This thing called democracy will involve vote selling and vote buying. We need to cut it out. Democracy don't work. It never has. Democracy is a rich white people thing. How much are we rich and white? How much of us in this world is rich and white? Because that's the only thing democracy serves. Rich white. Doesn't serve anything other than rich white. How much are we in this world? Or how much are we in the Caribbean where they enforce this rich whiteness span? How much are we rich and how much are we white? Because democracy don't even serve the common poor white. Never build with us in mind anyway. So what are these idiots talking about? You all sing that communism song against Russia. But Russia, if the truth be told, is more technology advanced than the United States. You sung the same song against China. Look at China's advancement. They have become the global trade center and the new superpower. You sung the same song against North Korea. Look, these days, America can't even threaten North Korea or call North Korea name in their mouth. Cut the democracy bullshit. It never worked then. It will not work now. When people did believe in a hit, it never work. Why you think democracy are gonna work under the Epstein exposure? Why you think democracy in an Epstein era makes sense anymore? We don't know say how China do well under communism, dictatorship, authoritarianism. We don't know say how Russia stand firm. We don't know say how Cuba stand firm under 7 decades of embargo. And do better than Uno Junker we talk about democracy. I mean, you can't even train doctors and nurses. If you do train them, you can't pay them for them. What are you talking about? Why don't you all shut the F up and stuck that democracy up your ass now? I'm fed up of this thing called democracy, rule of law. Where is it? Who benefit from the democracy and the rule of law? See even a fall for and grace for Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Stop the bullshit. Cut it out. The non-interventionism stance, dear John Cruz, Jamaica and Trinidad, it means say Cuba don't get intertwined in a pure where happen in a funo country. Keep on yourself out of Cuba domestic politics. It's not your job to call for democracy in Cuba when funo country no operate pan democracy. And even the democracy wanna claim so no operate pan, one cannot provide security under democracy. What are you talking about, you idiots? Democracy, lift your skirt up and show it over your head. Drink, get drunk, do this, be vulgar. That's what democracy means, That's what democracy means. Just be useless, lawless, and vulgar. Because beyond that, democracy don't serve the people who roll it up under the arm and talk about it. It does not. What is democracy helping us to do against the most corrupt government we've ever had in Jamaica? What? We legitimize. Democracy helps us to legitimize corruption, legitimize stealing. Hey, don't make me go ahead and inspire you this morning, idiot. Democracy. You think Cuba would have done so well in education under this bullshit of US democracy? Do you think Cuba could have been supplying doctors and nurses to the world and health professionals to the world if they follow this democracy bullshit, if they follow the IMF bullshit? And what Andrew is saying to Cuba, you must open up to investment. You must open up to different political ideology and all these bullshit. Let's listen to the bullshit again. Coming out on the ear. The bullshit where Andrew called to Cuba to open up to investment so white people can come in your country, can set up them pedophile institution, whether through churches, charities, or sometimes businesses. John Cross. These CARICOM bastards are John Cruz.
Jamaica stands firmly for democracy, human rights, political accountability, and open market-based economies.
Open market-based economy. Let's not even talk about the other fuckery we're talking about. The open market-based economy. Just like what the open market-based economy means, we lose everything. You see, since PJ and the liberalization of our economy, from PJ open up the market, we say we own nothing. Talk truth. No make we talk. From PJ open up and liberalize You notice we don't own nothing anymore. You notice chip. They have to sell off to all different farmer investors. This is what they're calling for Cuba. It's to break up the little share what the people have in a Cuba. That's what Andrew Holness is calling for. Can you imagine? A prime minister will have him people them in a dot. Because Cuba crisis was enforced upon Cuba by the Americans. The, the crisis with Jamaicans in the Western Belt. First of all, you sign off with them for knock with down, with the use the environment knock with down. And then you left with this scholar even when you walk and beg, borrow and steal money pan with head. What is Andrew Holness talking about? Him knows that we're out here. Jankro, do you know that we are out here? Look how much you're talking about transparency. We are calling for transparency in a Cuba, in a Cuban government. Where is transparency in Jamaica? When you're on the Integrity Commission, that the court doorway a fight. You appoint your friend at the head of the Financial Investigative Division to investigate your financial irregularity, your tax evasion, and your financial fraud. And you have the nerve to talk about Cuba in this way? Look at your economy. Even under embargo, Cuba better than we. Under embargo, Cuba can assist we with school, assist we with healthcare work. What have we done under democracy? What have we done under the democracy? The democracy wanna walk and rub up in a people's face every day and a push down with throat. What have we benefited from this democracy? Can you see part? We don't get to the see part yet, you know. We only benefit from the democracy. What have we benefited from the democracy? We not try to push Cuba in. We not try to push Cuba in the open market. Since we joined the open market under PJ Patterson, where Michael Manley there stand against, where we have left, every bloody asset for the country sell off. Every bloody little thing for the country sell off. Every little factory and thing we could employ with close down. And our country is being turned into a hotbed of allowing white people to come have sex and carry out them sexual predatory and pedophile on our island. Because that's all tourism is about. Sexual predatory and pedophile. That's all. That's all tourism is about. Sexual predatory. Because economically, we don't benefit from tourism. If tourism pack up and go to Jamaica, left Jamaica tomorrow, we don't feel too much. But if we are foreign, withdraw, we hand, Jamaica go feel it harder. Because the tourism dollar don't go to Jamaica. Jamaica get peanut pay out of tourism. Jamaica don't have top tier managers in tourism. What we benefit? We're salon slaves, as Abraham Chore calls us. Salon slaves. We're just there to offer service to the slave master. And the slave master come all over again with the children them in him hand where him abuse. And look what the state of the world there, where child abusers rapists, pedophiles, child murderers, and child eaters are dictating to us what can go so. Floyd Green morning. Floyd Green morning. Let's go to St. Elizabeth, because we don't only have one airfield in St. Elizabeth. And one would want to ask themselves, look, listen to that dog here again. The man dog here. The man dog here will roam through the village at night time, look front, and roam through the village at daytime, look dead body, the carcass.
Political accountability, and open market-based economies. We do not believe that long-term stability can exist where economic freedom is constrained and political participation is limited. Sustainable prosperity requires openness to ideas, to enterprise, to investment, and to the will of the people. This moment, therefore, calls not for rhetoric, but for responsible statecraft, even as we encourage support for humanitarian relief. Jamaica supports constructive dialogue between Cuba and the United States aimed at de-escalation, reform, and stability.
You all don't seem to understand. There's certain countries that just don't bow. China don't bow. Russia don't bow. North Korea don't bow. Iran don't bow. This is why we're preparing for the decimation of the world. Because the Iranians are not bothered about death. You see, that's not their problem. Death in their Islamic culture is glorious, especially against the great Satan, the United States. Death for them is glorious. On the other side, where the Americans them see life differently, they put more meaning to life. So the Iranians, they're going to engage you in an all-out almighty armada that will shock and awe the vile conscience of the American regime. Floyd Green morning, Southwest St. Elizabeth MP, you all right? The airfields of Southwest St. Elizabeth. Parity have airfield too. There's a community in Parity called Gravesend. And right down at the bottom of Gravesend, we have an area called Touchfield. Touchfield, horse racing and cricket and all that used to go on at Touchfield. But Touchfield had a different purpose too. It had an airstrip. And that's where the jugs playing them used to come load up. The jugs playing them used to come load up. Hey, we lose the country, you know. That's what I tell you, say. Try look at African government fit take on in one by one. And don't understand the fuckery me I try teach on beg on a pardon, but me have to tell on so because you don't understand. Treasure Beach. Remember, a new city is coming to St. Elizabeth.
This is phenomenal.
It's so cool.
You ever made my dream come true? If you had a little terminal here where people could come. Right. Passports, dude. Right. That'd be unbelievable. Such a beautiful area.
Like a point of entry.
A point of entry. It's such a beautiful area.
Right.
And people can come around.
You need to get people of a certain income. You need that convenience.
Right.
And to tell people they need to take a 2-hour car ride is tough.
Right.
But to tell them they can bring in a nice, comfortable, decent-sized plane,
Yeah.
that's an easy sell, especially because this area is considered to be one of the untapped gems of Jamaica. I mean, what better thing to do for a person of a certain means than to tap into an untapped gem?
So having spent a few days in Treasure Beach and you're saying, do you think there's like a market for this? I think there's a really sophisticated market for this.
Anyway, I sent Elizabeth, they can come shot me. And they can come sue me because they can't sue me successfully. Because I come from a community as well where we have an airstrip. Anyway, yesterday airstrip you're there in Jamaica. And that's how the drugs playing them come pick up drugs. As something what was happening after the community regular attached field. But at this year airstrip, them are used now because this year airstrip is quite closer to the ocean than Fiwi one down a Fort Fiwi one not that far from Fort Charles and so on, you know, but that one here, at this year one year, them are do the drugs transshipment them from St. Elizabeth. But look at all the people them with we never own Jamaica at any point at all. So the brand Jamaica, we don't talk about, we don't need to get rubber and rub it out. Brand white people, what do we own in Jamaica? What on earth do we own in Jamaica? What we are talking about? Does anyone know? We don't have one at Braves River too. So three identifying a St. Elizabeth now. One in a female community in a touch field. They always go to Braves River to win. Yes, Sharon, see Ladybug tell me say, them always go Braves River. At them place there, at the drugs transshipment hubs in a St. Elizabeth. Touchfield, the one in a female community named Touchfield. See this here one here up at Treasure Beach now. And here we are here, the one in a Braves River as well. All of them people placed there. And I know St. Elizabeth alone have them. We have no doubt that Vernon Field in a Clarendon are used for them purposes there too. We know say something there. Where the airport of St. Mary or where it name. The how much jugs where did come in there. So these airstrip wanna see. When them are shot down with children, them the drugs and gun. These are the entry point. You hear them talk about entry point. Yes, Barbara, Mr. Vernon Field as well. And wherever you see the airstrip in our community, I did the drugs, them. Ian Fleming, thanks. And Colina Sebasco Bell have one as well. You understand? All of these hubs is where the drugs and weapons transshipment take place in our country. That the politician and the business community, Ken Jones in Portland, Sophie Hall said, there's Ken Jones in Portland as well. These airstrips are all over the place. Don't attach field. In the 80s and 90s, people used to just got bag up their ganja, go attach field, go load drugs plane. You understand? A long time them something are going from where picking it. Jugs are load round with boat by boat and plane. Don't attach field or outer reef, far out from where you say Pelican Bar there. Was one of the jugs loading area as well as St. Elizabeth. Them something are still up. It not even still a going. It get worse. It get worse. And a lot of these white criminals with these private planes are highly involved in the weapon and drugs transshipment in our country.
This is phenomenal.
It's so cool.
You've really made my dream come true. If you had a little terminal here where people can come and right passports too. Right. It's such a beautiful area. Like a point of entry. A point of entry. It's such a beautiful area. Right. And people can come and right.
You need to get people of a certain income, you need that convenience.
Right.
And to tell people they need to take a 2-hour car ride is tough.
Right.
But to tell them they can bring in a nice, comfortable, decent-sized plane,
yeah,
that's an easy sell, especially because this area is considered to be one of the untapped gems of Jamaica. I mean, what better thing to do for a person of a certain means than to tap into an untapped gem?
So having spent a few days in Treasure Beach and your own plane, do you think there's like a market for this?
I think there's a really sophisticated market for this. I think it's not just people who have their own planes, but people who can fly in on plane sense or one of the charter services. I mean, you see that so much going on. There's the folks who go to St. Bart's. But for people who want the breadbasket of Jamaica here in St. Elizabeth, to be able to come in and just have that genuine Jamaican experience straight here, I think it would be unbelievable for the area. I do think it would be a game changer.
If you maybe...
What these white people are telling you here, we have identified our own window, our own entry point, that we can come in and we don't have to go through the authorities. Because if plane can fly all the way from India come here, and then say they never know about it till they reach town. Then little plane there, when America switch off in radar, can just fly in and fly out without any surveillance or detection. What capability do we have? Honest Minister of Defense and the new Ministry of Defense with the bloated bureaucracy. How this a go? Not talk about democracy, open market, investment, political ideology. Too much political ideology create the havoc we have in Jamaica. Too much political ideology create the havoc we have in Jamaica. That's why Russia don't have the havoc. China don't have the havoc. North Korea don't have the havoc. Cuba don't have the havoc. Cut this bullshit of democracy. It don't work. It has never worked. And it will never work. The thing never work when people believe in it. And when the thing exposed in front of the world, when you still a call upon the same fuckery, it's like Christian keep praying every day and hoping for nothing at all. What we need in Jamaica is strong authoritarian leadership. Is the only way we're going to move forward. We need a leader strong like Michael Manley or stronger. Otherwise, we're going to be subjected to the tyranny of the pedophiles who want to be led by Trump. Look at who we lead them and take order from. Are you going to continue to vote for them? Or are you going to continue to legitimize them? Probably, because none of you are even asking them questions. We don't not question them. We don't believe them. A lot of time did believe Andrew saying I want his salary. Say Andrew taking his salary retroactively. Are we going to be fooled again? Me tired of we, you know. Me telling us say, start look for the African country where now go want to live and bring up no children them. Because Jamaica will become more racist than America. Jamaica is going to become more racist than America. Christopher Columbus pick them and come back for the Ngalangi, you know. The same thing where Christopher Columbus picked them, they give if you put on a hole till they're ready if you come back for them coming back. And there's nothing we have can stop them from take what they want. Because to say, those who we choose as leaders is on their knee, willing to hand even us over, free to them, plus brata, as we see Andrew Holness did in South Africa the other day, when just give away free, so you never even take down payment pan way. What a crisis. Democracy. We need to change this thing to Rubio-ocracy. Because not even America understand this democracy where Trump and Rubio are push. We're not going to see a wave of racism coming to Jamaica. You're all going to be pushed out. The first thing they do, they make sure pies no sperm or no eggs. That means they can't outbreed and overrun. Oh no. So look for which African country you want to go live and start making a plan. Because shit is gonna really go down in the West. Just make them touch Iran. Donald Trump, I beg you to start. Donald Trump, I beg you to start. Start no? Opal, oh, you know, I'm selling Senor 1 pound. 1 pound. $1 per pound for Senor. Anybody about? Listen here. Listen, I don't know what Prince Charles up to, you know. But don't know what Prince Charles up to, because Prince Charles have to be behind summer in a February. History broke in England, you know. Because them are something what we experience in a February. Clothes off, jacket off, t-shirt, shorts, tracksuit. Them something not normal. Don't normal at all. Democracy. Democracy. Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness say Cuba. The Cuban, so all right then. So when if the Cuban president turn his wife in the prime minister, what I go say? That's not democracy. Andrew? What if the Cuban president tomorrow should turn his wife into the Cuban prime minister? And it two of them are president and prime minister. Don't you think that would be democracy, prime minister? We would like you to answer that. If that would be the democracy we are talking about. And the investment. Are you saying Cuba must sell out? Cuba must sell out the people asset to white rich monopolies? Because that's what investment means. The white conglomerate come in and monopolize your asset and your wealth. Is that what you're asking for Cuba, Drunkro? These people are criminal. Their attack on Cuba, their democracy bullshit, something we don't have, something where Andrew Holness can't abide by, something where Andrew Holness regime violate in our country day in, day out. A government mobbed by corruption, contract and procurement, scandal, have the nerve to get involved in another country, domestic politics, while still speaking about sovereignty zone of peace and non-intervention. Non-intervention means say you stick to your own bullshit in your yard, and when you see people jazz pan in line with hole, you turn your fucking eye away and your wholeness. That's what it means. You bastard. Don't even know who your bloody father is. Out harder. Look at who. Look at who want lecture to Cuba. Look at who lecture to Cuba. Your government I rebuild one hospital for 9-10 years now. And we can't get any accountability nor transparency. Pound the $2 billion one did say it will cost we. Now we end up over 25 billion already. And I go end up near to 30 billion or more. And you have the nerve. If you talk about transparency and accountability, we're idiots. Man, move up and step aside with your junkerism. Everywhere you see dead meat, you try to be the chief eater of it. That's why you end up in an election quote 20 odd years ago and 20 odd years on. That's why for years now you can't have your statutory declaration certified. That's why you're under investigation for financial fraud, tax evasion. Were you not under investigation for Jankro? Oh, probably just the cock swinging in our parliament. I must say, ungo that. You're not under investigation for thief. Look at what you did at Marat Bay. You open a shell, no a place fish it, no a water, no a light. Hey, we're fooling. Boy, Andrew Holness can write a book. Let me give you the title, Prime Minister. How to Fool the Politically Docile. Prime Minister, you need to write a book. How to Fool the Politically Docile. Because the prosperity, the prosperity, the impeachment, the corruption where you did plan for tackle, the salary where you not take, the tax where you not tax for 10 years. All of it was a nasty story. All of it was a nasty story. Aren't we caught now in the spider's web though, Jamaica? With all the 10 years of a nasty story. With that whole 10 years of a nasty story, have we now not been caught in the spider's web? Somebody needs to light touch under the spider web. Democracy, investment, capitalism. What will benefit out of capitalism? Further than selling front. Other than selling front, because that's all we do as a country. Sell front. What will benefit out of capitalism? What we have left? What we have left since the open market? What we have left since liberalization? Everything sell off. We factory them clothes. People own them for different purposes. We move off into tourism. We even destroy agriculture. Agriculture, which was a main sustenance of the tourism industry, which boosts the Jamaica economy and help we down a centuries to propel. See there, all that will not take away from away and pass you over going to American junk them. And I talk about democracy. Democracy where all of the little living in our country are rich white people for make the money and we not make none. Democracy, we're not carrying the Chinese and the Indian them pan tax break and look at small and medium business them in Jamaica and have them foot on a tax foot in them neck. You're talking to us. Go on, yeah. Jankro Guan. One day your wing go broke. One day your wing go broke. Go and fly high, Jankro. Jankro, go and fly high. Look at Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Jankro. Jankro, look at Elizabeth's son, Jankro. Your wing will break one day. No, eagle, no. You all on a Jankro. So you can't fly so high. So you go get caught in something. Just like a Andrew Mountbatten. Just like a Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Elizabeth most favorite second son. Yeah. You go get caught in the web of deceit. It's not that you don't get caught, It's just a system where we have at the moment. Maybe if we release the Peter King files, Andrew Holness, just maybe if we release the Peter King files, it may just send a shock and awe through the consciousness of the Jamaica people. And that's where I leave it this morning and tell you, CARICOM, Kamala and Andrew, fuck you and fuck democracy. Thank you for being here with us this morning. Lovely to have your support. Join us back this evening when we look at the riot from another street corner. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way, prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, Rastafari, war and crime, and do the righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, and we love Jah, we love Jah, Rastafari, we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve our people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all, and we love Jah, me love Jah, me love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all, me love Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight, and then DJ Twink.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows, but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.